L- Ladies and gentlemen, welcome from State for a nice evening of minor league esports. I am your host for this evening. It's your boy Fallen, and I'm here with some quality microphone for once. This is amazing. I can't believe it. We're here for some great action all evening long here on Minor League Esports 2. We got another stream coming up in an hour on the main channel, and we got my boy Stage here, who's going to help me out with some casting for this evening. Stage, how are you doing?
Fallen, I was doing fantastic until I heard your southern accent, and now I'm questioning my decisions a little bit, but I feel great.
I question it too, honestly. I don't know why I do what I do, but we're here and we're live, and it's a wonderful night to be watching some great Rocket League gameplay. And we got a very hot matchup to start things off, a Champion League matchup between the Knights and the Aviators. Take it away. Tell us about these two teams.
Well, if we're going to go back to the southern style that we talk, I think we're going to have a real barn burner between these two teams. Aviators at a 22-23 record with the Knights 23-22. These guys are in the closest contention you can possibly imagine, and both have an opportunity to seize a playoff spot with this game, but it's gonna take a lot of work for both of them. Knights need to go up 3-2. And the Aviators would need to take a 4-1 set to have an opportunity for that.
But some of the players they've got on either teams are definitely some of the strongest players in Champion League this season. Specifically, on the side of the Aviators, we've got Manatee, a man who has gone 15-10 in terms of series games record, but 4-1 in series record, always managing to pull out that win when necessary. And on the opposite side of the field, you've got a player like Turan, a sort of new figure, came over from the Hurricanes, definitely a strong dark horse figure in this matchup, and someone I'm looking to see take advantage of, I believe, his first time on stream. It could definitely be a night to remember for him.
Turan's definitely an active player, one who is really a playmaker, and I think we could be the addition to the Knights roster that we really need to see them become a breakout team and possibly move ahead into that playoff contention spot.
Yeah, but, oh, sorry, my bad. Carry on.
I think we're going to be seeing them match up pretty closely against Manatee on the Aviators, who is going to also be that playmaker position, also be really active, and both of them are going to be the players to watch this series.
Yeah, and especially in the case of the Knights, as we get game number 1 underway, I feel like the Knights, they have a lot more to lose than the Aviators. They're ahead of the Aviators by a game coming into this. They are 3 games away from basically securing a playoff position over the Lightning and then the Hawks, who still have yet to play their game here for this week. And really, if they are able to pull off a big win here against the Aviators, it will, in my mind, secure, and in their minds, almost sort of put them at ease, because they feel like they should be in that position, and really, they haven't been doing enough to earn that spot as of yet in this season. A couple of misplays there in the midfield to start things off, but Manatee now will look to take this one up. He's gone up onto the ceiling. Can he make the read? Nope, Turan will clear it away off the goal line, and the stalemate will hold here. 40 seconds in, no real offensive opportunity for either team.
I think that to the same way that they've got more to lose, I think the Knights have a lot more to prove. This being Turan's possible stream debut, really wanting to just come out here, and we're seeing such solid performance, a beautiful block, forcing that one into the backboard, cutting out the angle, the attempted double touch from Manatee. Manatee not able to hold on to that offense, but Tomez out in the midfield, maintaining control, looking to kind of jostle this one forward, sets up Manatee, shot out, but Poolsharker is there to save.
5 shots, 4 saves from the Knights. They have been absolutely epic on defense so far. Already a savior medal going in the favor of Turan. Another shot will go towards the net. Turan will pinch it off the poster now. That is an incredible keep, but he will not get a medal for it this time. Now, Tomez takes it round 1. Poolsharker's there on the near post to clear it, and Turan with the long send down midfield all the way to the backboard of the Aviators. Manatee forced her back all the way off, but a good pinch there off of the Merc. Going for the shot off of the backboard, does not find the angle he wants, and Turan will clear it into the corner, but this attack is building, and the Knights finally with the demo will clear the ball away, maybe permanently. They get the attack. Poolsharker will get the goal, and they, after a string of defensive success, will find an offensive chance and take it.
The Knights finally able to get out of their own backfield. We see a beautiful set from Turan on that 50-50, and Poolsharker just has the awareness to put it away. It's a textbook play, but there's a reason why it's textbook, because it works.
Yeah, and especially in moments like that, they really needed to find a goal after being on the back foot for the majority of this first minute, or 2 minutes now, of this game. And still, the Aviators are going with attacks. Now Tomez looks to pass it across to the midfield, but Manatee is backing off. Turan will be able to control it, but Manatee with a great challenge sends it deep into the Knights half. It's going to roll up the sidewall. Tomez looks for the read, can't find it. Paul Sharker will just control it out. For the moment, Manatee with a poor touch will get bumped away from the ball, but Tomez turns, and again, applying pressure everywhere here are the Aviators. They're playing a hyper-aggressive style, but it's not really paying off as Manatee forced to make an amazing stop to keep that shot out from Paul Sharker. Somehow, someway, they're not 2-0 down, and now maybe looking for a goal of their own.
The Aviators are peppering the net, really putting a lot of pressure out there on the nets, but even with that opportunity, the dunk over top from Manatee, they're still not able to find the back of the net yet. And neither team's really doing heavy, fancy plays, big mechanical outplays. It's just a matter of the Manatees are getting the ball onto the Knights side of the field consistently and not able to put it away just yet.
As a fan of verbal flubs, as a person who does it on a regular basis, I love commentating over the Manatees, not the Aviators. They are now the Manatees. Manatee now with a shot on target. Paul Sharker forced to make another save. That's his second of the game. An incredible display from both Knights players. They have 6 saves, but there won't be a chance to make the save this time. But the shot was off target from Manatee after Thomas's great demo onto, I believe it was Turan in net. But somehow, someway, this Knights defense holding against the onslaught. Now another opportunity. Tomez applying pressure, gets the 50 with Paul Sharker. It's up in the air. It's an opportunity for Manatee, but he's bumped away by, I believe that was Paul Sharker, and Turan allowed to clear it past that midfield line.
Paul Sharker got to show himself as Paul Shotter here, getting a lot of the physical plays out, but getting demoed on the back line now. Possible opportunity for the Aviators, but Tomez not going away over top of the 50-50. Gets stopped out. Paul Sharker looking to center. Will he find it? No. Cleared away from the net. And Turan ready to scoop this one up. Challenging on the wall. Goes 50. Pops way high up. Manatee is there for the Aviators. But Paul Sharker still back in net. Just holding this pressure down. This is starting to tick away a very good defensive ball game. But that defense is favoring the Knights so far. One more opportunity for Paul Sharker. Getting beat out on the early challenge. Turan sends it to no man's land, and it will be picked up by the Aviators. Tomez, I believe. No, he's getting burned on the back line. The demo as well.
Oh.
Paul Sharker closing the match with the nail in the coffin.
Absolutely amazing solo play there from Paul Sharker. Recognizes he's beat one defender, just has to get rid of the other one, and will secure a Game 1 win for the Knights that, if you're looking at just the run of play, it really shouldn't have gone to them. But their play, their way of keeping the ball in their own half and out of their own net has been outstanding. There's nary been a better defensive performance than the one we have witnessed in this game, and it will be a Game 1 win for the Knights. They take an early lead in a series that they must win.
So, Fallen, I want to talk about the start of that game in particular, and the first goal we saw out of the Knights. The Aviators were peppering the net, I think 5 shots in the first minute. And the only shot the Knights put on net was in. It was an open net goal, it was absolutely clean. And I think that that was really the trendsetter or the descriptor of that match. Is you can put as many shots as you want onto the net, but if the Knights are going to defend and then just get an open goal on the Aviators, that's all you need to get ahead. It doesn't matter how many shots you put on if they're all blocked.
Yeah, I feel like the Knights were playing. There was a pro team that tried this same strategy of sitting back on defense more so than going up on offense, and they soaked up pressure and tried to play counter-attacking when they actually had to get on offense. And really, it's something that we've seen work in the past, and it's really working dividends here for the Knights. They were able to get 2 major counter-attacking goals. One was a great solo play from Paul Sharker. The other one, a great little play from Turan to get a good 50. The other player was too far forward for the Aviators, and Paul Sharker had an open net to shoot on. But as we get game number 2 ready and underway as the players get onto the field, I'm looking to see them continue this style of play. I'm not looking to see them push on, because they now have that comfort of a 1-game lead. They probably won't book a trend that's already working out for them.
But I think my big curiosity is what adjustments we see from the Aviators. Tomez coming in a little bit too hot on that ball, whiffing it out in the midfield, so forcing Manatee to pick this up, but a Fields backflip, and I think we're seeing a bit of a mechanical meltdown from the Aviators. But a beautiful save there is going to get a rebound, and Tomez putting the Aviators on the board for the first time.
I believe that is the 11th shot this series from the Aviators and the first goal. That isn't a great stat line when you think about it from a stat perspective, but in terms of this game, it's a perfect start for the Aviators. They broke down that defense, they got the goal they needed to, and now, maybe looking to push on here and get a second, that high offensive push line will start to really pay dividends now that they have that comfort lead.
Bullsharker looking for the corner, not coming away with the ball just yet. Both of the players. What a bully play!
He's just murdered the man. He's dead in the net. Completely ignores the ball, goes to the man, bumps him up the side of the goal and upside down. There is no way Manatee makes that stop in a million years. And Turan has an open net to shoot on. Immediately, we're back to square one for the Aviators, and they're thinking, what the hell do we have to do to make this stay in front in this game?
That was, if you can't play defense, I guess the best way is to just dribble your opponents.
Yeah, I mean, it works in this case. Now the ball sent up onto the ceiling. I have accidentally tapped out the game. We're back in. Manatee now taking it out the corner, flicks it towards the midfield, but a good interception there from Bullsharker. Grabs the boost off of Spawn, fakes out the challenge. Turan will take advantage, sends it home. You know, I always thought the Merc was an odd card choice, but Turan's making it work here.
Now, I've played Rocket League since just after the beta, and when they normalized the Merc, it was a bit of a heartbreaker and a bit of a sigh of fresh air at the same time. So I can definitely see players using the Merc. It just feels clunky still, even with the turning being normalized.
Yeah,
the ceiling shot attempt from Manatee not quite closing in, but still a lot of pressure from the Aviators. A shot opportunity, no.
Yeah, you've got a new hitbox for the Merc. No! Oh, what a mistake there! A mistake, a very uncharacteristic mistake from Bullsharker, and the Aviators will find themselves back on even terms. Manatee's touch there, just enough to get past Bullsharker. It's a surprising goal, but it's a goal nonetheless, and really, that's exactly what they needed right now.
And I feel like if you can continue making those errors, whether they're forced or unforced, happen to the Knights, that's going to be the big opening for the Aviators to really get in there and take this game too. I feel like they're having a difficult time getting a lot of the playmaking happening, but they're able to stretch the defense, just allow them to hoist themselves by their own petard.
Yeah, now an opportunity again for the Aviators. It's above the net, but Bullsharker will look for the touch again. A missed opportunity there to clear the ball. Turan will be forced to sweep it up on the back side of his half. Will get it past one. The ball rolling around the last defender. Tomez in a difficult situation, but makes it work. Now Bullsharker bumps Manatee almost unfortunately into the ball. Now the ball going towards the midfield, but again Bullsharker recovering on defense, keeping that ball away. The Aviators, their offense is starting to tick a little bit here, but then again, the Knights are playing a much more aggressive style. They're definitely getting out of their own half with the ball more often than they were in game number one, and really, that's sort of what you expect in a high-scoring match. And Turan will find the shot. I don't even think he needed to go and hit it again, but he'll do it for the style points. A great goal for Turan.
The thing that I'm loving about this Knights lineup so far is just their composure. Under pressure, you've got both them willing to go up and make the bump plays, willing to be able to be very patient in net. But it's giving them the opportunity to score goals like that, where even if the defender had been up for it, Bullsharker was there to bump him out of the way, to clear the net as much as he possibly could.
And
Bullsharker with one more opportunity. Oh, no.
Oh, that one's a feels bad, man. You rotate out and you hit the ball away from your own teammate, and it just ends up flying into the path of Bullsharker. Manatee throws up a calculated, but that clearly was not. And the Aviators find themselves 2 goals down for the second time this series. It's 4-2 Knights.
I want to see the Aviators, I want to see Tomez and Manatee just take a deep breath, just reset. We've seen a lot of mechanical brilliance and a lot of really solid game sense out of them so far, as Manatee looks for another ceiling shot that gets stuffed out by the Knights. But there we go, over the top, right in front of the net. Will it close? Not yet. Aviators just barely losing the opportunity for a closer. Trying to center that once more. Turan not coming away with this just yet. There we go, a shot. Beautiful rotation, and Poolsharker there to close it out.
Yeah, you thought that one went in there, didn't you?
Oh, I thought it was there.
Yeah, it was just off of the post, and now Manatee getting a phantom touch there, but Poolsharker able to sweep it up. It's that level of not double committing on offense. It's something that we've seen the Aviators do a couple of times, having both players a little too far forward, not able to capitalize when the ball is really just in front of the net and able to just be driven in. But in the case of the Knights, they don't seem to have that problem. The chemistry is there between the two. They know when one of them's rotating out, they know when to rotate in. It's a great little, it's just a great little bit of knowledge between the two players, and it's something that defines a Champion League team. When two players trust each other to the extent that Poolsharker and Turan do, you really start to see it in the way they're playing and in the results as well.
But at the same time, you really can't deny the individual mechanical plays that we're seeing out of the Aviators. It just, they need to keep their comms a little bit more open, get the communication, and kind of call out each other what they don't see, so you know what is and isn't safe for them to do. Shot opportunity from Manatee. Blocked by Turan. And that's going to just be drifting right in front of the net. Will they close it? Yes!
Poolsharker almost made that save then, and that would have been the greatest double save, I think, of his career. Somehow kept that one out, and almost kept that one out. It's insane how much effort really goes into just being a good defender, and you can see it every touch. Poolsharker is at the limit of his own capabilities, but he's doing it for the sake of getting his team a dub here, a dub that this team, the Knights, absolutely desperately need. They are 2 games away from almost securing a playoff position going into the very back half of the season with only 4 series remaining, I believe, in the case of them and the Aviators right now, and they really need to take a goal when they get a chance, and Poolsharker will do just that as he immediately gets a goal back off of a poor defensive play from the Aviators.
I loved the idea from the Aviators here. This was exactly a brilliant play, except for the fact that the Knights were ready. You go into the net, you try and clear it out, demo the goalie, allow your teammate to slow things down and just wait for the goal to be open, but Poolsharker survived the assassination attempt, and now it is just a absolute joust for the Knights here.
Just a murder off of the kickoff. I thought Turan actually had the touch, but no, Tomez would put it in to keep it away from Turan and stopping him from getting another goal. Really, this level of play, this is incredible how quickly they can go from being the best defensive team to one of the best offensive teams. They have the full package, and now they're putting it all together. It's very hard if you're the Aviators team to find a way to break them down. That's one way to do it. An open net shot there from Manatee just slides in bottom corner. Good little pass from Tomez to set it up, but as we look towards game number 3, the Aviators are down 2. They need to win every single game in the rest of the series. They need a reverse sweep to keep their playoff hopes alive going into the back half of the season. Do you think they have what it takes to do it?
Now,
That's the question.
The thing that really rings out to me, though, is losing this game already completely removes their ability to clinch the playoff spot from at least this week in the standings, so they have that much more work to do. They need to run this out, and they need to really find their composure, or else I don't see them making the wild card.
Yeah, it really, in the case of especially Manatee, who's been so strong all season long, only having 1 series loss to his name in the 5 series he's played. It's the 6th one. Really, he's also been very good in the series. There's no denying how well he's been playing. It just feels like the Knights have been that much better, especially Poolsharker, who's having an absolute blinder of a series, playing out of his mind on offense. 6 goals, I believe, in 8 shots so far.
That sounds about right.
Insane stats overall. He's really been flying around and just doing all of the work necessary to get the Knights into a position where they are now a game away from clinching the series, a game away from taking a spot in the playoffs.
So, the thing to think about too, with regard to Poolsharker, with regard to Turan on the Knights, and just their blistering stat line, these are the 2 most superlative players with regard to their stat lines on the Knights, Poolsharker and Turan. almost a complete and total clean sweep of their stat lines. Best MVP rating, best goals, saves, shots, demos, all of those just held by these two players. But Manatee for the Aviators is the 4th best with respect to MVP rating in the entire championship league.
Yeah, it's kind of insane when you put the stats in perspective like that. As we look ready to get game number 3 underway, the Aviators hoping maybe for a hot start like they had last time, but so far the kickoff goes in their favor. Tomaz with the shot. Paul Shocker's there though on defense, and it feels like we're already starting to settle into the routine we had from game 1 and 2. Now the chance up above the net. Tomaz gets the touch, but it's away from his own net, and Paul Shock will be able to clear it into the corner. Gets bumped but looks to go up, but Manatee there immediately off his own backboard clears it out to Tomaz. The passing plays here from the Aviators looking strong, but Manatee unable to connect on the repass, and like that, the Knights are able to break down the field to run now with an open net to shoot on. Will instead pass it across to Paul Shocker, and that is the goal number 1 for the Knights in a very, very fine fashion.
The Knights again finding the open net, really not even taking the goal opportunity as much as they're punishing the overcommittal. The Aviators just so aggressive, so hungry for these shots on net. They're willing to pull the goalie, they're willing to move all the way into the opposite end of the field, and then their rotations suffer just a little bit for it.
Now another opportunity. Manatee will go for a good 50 from Paul Shocker to keep that one out, and Turan were able to clean it up for the moment. Now the ball sort of left in the Knights' defensive zone. They have a lot of faith in each other to keep it away, but they will not. And Manatee will find the shot and the goal. Ties the game up with 4:07 remaining.
Bit of a awkward touch from Pool Sharker off the corner. Just a beautiful setup for Manatee. Manatee gets the read on that in perfect position to get this harsh cut into the net.
Now Turan wins the kickoff, gets it above the net. Is Pool Shocker there? No, Manatee will be the one to clear it away, and Tomaz will send it deep into the Knights' half. This is something they've done a lot of. They like to clear the ball long, and it's sort of just giving the Knights a lot of comfort room when it comes to just playing the ball. Another passing play for Paul Shocker, this time to Turan, and it's in the back of the net again. It's 2-1 to the Knights.
Now, there's nothing punishing about that one. That was just pure execution and right out of the playbook. Pummeling it directly into Turan, and just giving a great opportunity for a goal. The Knights taking the lead here. Are we going to be able to see anything from the Aviators to come back? Oh no, a fly past. Manatee has to save deep in his backfield. Pool Sharker tries to set, steals the boost out. He's falling back to catch this ball, but the Aviators continue their push. Tomez gives it directly to Turan though. Turan playing back, waiting for one more touch. Looks like the Aviators will get control. Looking for a double, not quite there yet. The pass inward, Tomez closing the gap.
Great goal there from Tomez, able to find a way onto the back end of that ball, just taking it behind Turan, so he couldn't make the stop. Whilst Paul Shocker could make it the first time, Turan is a different beast on defense. He likes to go up for those aerial saves, and this time was not able to do so. A good shot, good goal. Aviators tie it up. 3:15 on the clock. It's already 2-2. I feel like we've got another half a dozen goals at least in this game.
Oh, here might be another
my
one.
God.
Looking for the save. Pool Sharker just gets the tip over top to dunk that one away, despite the best efforts of Manatee.
Turan almost scored that. He almost got the read on the aerial, then claims, you know what, no, I wasn't going for it. I was just trying to tee up Paul Shocker. What do you mean? I wasn't trying to score. What are you talking about? Manatee now, off the kickoff. Paul Shocker will immediately cut back across and go for his own back boost, but his teammate had already taken it, so he's got nothing on that backboard. Doesn't find the read. Tomez almost found it. Manatee now with the shot. It's on target and it's in. And the Aviators immediately tie it back up. I said half a dozen. Can we go for the full dozen? I feel like we're going to need the full... Oh, the bum!
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
I missed the bum! What is going on in this series? I can't keep up. This is game 3.
This is a festival of folly. I don't know how you would expect to have Knights and Aviators in the same timeline even, but this one is turning into an absolute fiesta. The Knights, Turan just getting the little tap off the back wall, picks up his own rebound, cuts it in perfectly.
It's a brilliant goal there for Turan, able to somehow find the angle and get to the ball beforehand. it's very, very difficult to be able to beat a defender and also make sure you're not hitting the ball so hard that you're completely missing out on the goal. Turan dives in. Manatee will tee it up above the net. That'll come off the backboard. It'll go straight down. It's a waterfall.
No.
Pulshocker will find his own net. It feels bad, man. It happens to the best of us, but really, I think Manatee will take credit for that.
Absolutely. One of the things I want to say about going into that play is we had Turan trying to use the big hitbox of the Merc to cut rotation twice, leading into that one-on-one situation where Poolsharker was forced into his own net. What is going on here?
This is the tension of being on a stream for possibly one of the most difficult games of your career. You're throwing yourself at the ball and you're like, why isn't it working? The stress is getting to me. Another opportunity there for Turan, cleared away by Manatee. Now Poolshocker collecting it in the midfield, gets it past one, looks for the bump on the other, but Turan had rotated out and the opportunity fizzles out for the Knights. Now the Aviators on the counter, immediately sniped by Turan on the sidewall. Now Poolshocker diving in, will get the touch off of the sidewall, but he's out of play. Turan bumps Tomez. Manatee's shot is off target. And somehow, someway, the Knights will hold on defense again. How many times have I said that this series already? Too many times. Let's carry on.
This is just back to the playbook that we've got from the Aviators. Again, the constant aggression, trying to just hold the ball deep into the Knight side, pepper the net, find something that'll go by. The Knights, all they need is one big clear to punish that aggression. Here it is off the backboard, not finding the net this time. Manatee with the clear out, but Turan rotating back quickly. Tomez looks for the shot, goes to the wall instead, and Manatee has to rotate back once more. Again, this is just the exact same plays that we have seen over and over in this series. Ball once more on the Knights side. Manatee trying to get the Aviators the offensive position once more. Tomez getting burned on the backfield. And now Manatee has to play defense, let Tomez come back and recover. Bit of a double commit here, but they get it around the defenders. The Aviators have a shot opportunity, and no, the ball gets buried in the corner once more. Fallen, I don't even know where you can go with these plays right now.
Honestly, it's very hard to call action that's so topsy-turvy, that's so unpredictable, that really, you say one thing's going to happen and then the opposite happens immediately after. It's like a consistent Gladster's curse. Poolsharker now, clearing it into his own corner. Tomez will look to try and clear it back to the midfield, but Turan will just beat him to it and bully him off the ball. Now centering it up above the net. Tomez will be up there first, will pass it into the corner where Manatee waits. Takes the touch off the top of his car, but Poolsharker expected it. Is now playing a patient game with Manatee. Baits out the shot. Will get a chance. It might go to overtime here. I may have just cursed it because the pressure is still mounting for the Knights. It feels weird that they're now on the offense, but Poolsharker will tee this one up. He'll look for the bump. Will instead just let the ball forwards. Turan is up there to catch it. Game 3 overtime with the series on the line. The Knights need to take this game to win it. The Aviators need to take it to keep it alive.
The Aviators would need to find that reverse sweep, but the ball out in no man's land. Poolsharker has to rotate to be onside. And he does manage to clear that one away before any play can develop. Turan, a booming shot in towards the Aviators side of the field. But Manatee, for the Aviators, looks to get this around. Poolsharker gets the block, ball high in front of the net. First touch off the backboard. Manatee once more with the opportunity. Sends it into the backboard once more, and no option left. Turan clears it right into a swarm of Aviators. And Knights trying desperately to get it out of their own side. Turan will come away with it, tackled by Manatee, but Poolsharker's there to keep the clear alive. One more one-on-one, needs a doomsy dish, and almost off the crossbar.
What a save from Tomez on the goal line to keep it out. Now going for the counter-attack. Sends it towards the backboard. Turan's there to read it though. This is so good. I'm loving every second of this. Manatee takes the shot. That's on target. No, it's not off the bar now. Poolsharker wasn't saving it. Turan now clears the ball to the midfield. Will go up, but Tomez will beat him. No, he won't. Turan will get the touch into the back corner of the Aviators. Manatee looking to control it. Clears it long. Turan with a demo onto Tomez. It's just Manatee. Almost finds the touch, but Turan is there for the save. Clears it away. And now maybe looking for a goal of his own. Goes up off the ceiling. It's off the backboard. Can't find the read, but Poolsharker is there and will bury it home to take this game and take the series. They're 3-0 up already, and they have looked spectacular in doing so.
Fallen, I couldn't have asked for a better closer. When we hit overtime, I was so afraid that we were going to see the goal just come off of a random pinch or a random crossfield shot. But seeing the play develop like that, seeing the Knights come out ahead, and earning the 3-0 so far in the series is exactly what I asked for.
Yeah, this is exactly what you wanted, but the Knights, they take it 3-0 already, and we still have 2 games to go here at MLE. We do play all 5 games in a series. We don't stop after the series is won. We just keep going until we've had all 5 games, so everyone can have an even record by the end. The Knights, they are looking very, very good on offense right now. 7 shots, 5 goals in this game alone. Poolsharker getting an extra 3 goals. I think that's 9 and 11 now he is in terms of shots and goals and shots. The man is flying on offense, and there is very little that the Aviators defense can really keep him out.
Yeah, I think as well, Poolsharker and Tehran, we can see why they are suddenly leading their team's stat lines. And both of them just being so incredibly dynamic. I did not expect to see this much activity and this much tempo out of Poolsharker. I thought Tehran was going to be the tempo setter, and Poolsharker is just blowing me away in this game.
Yeah, and as we get game number 4 underway, please let us know in chat which team you want to take the rest of these games. We've got 2 more games to go. It could go 50-50. The Aviators could finally pick up a win for themselves, but they've really, at least at this point, they've deserved to have at least 1 game win by this point. But the Knights have just been that much better at times, getting that 7-3 win in game, so 7-4, my apologies, in game 2, getting that big win, a 2-0 win in game 1, and then the overtime. But right now, it feels like the Aviators, they've got a mountain to climb in terms of breaking down this defense on a consistent basis. And I don't know how you get up there with no climbing gear.
I think there's just more of like a failure to launch so far from the Aviators more than anything. I mean, you can definitely soar over top of this mountain as Aviators, but it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of gas, and their tank has been a little bit lacking as Poolsharker gets the fancy catch just to redirect that one right into the net.
Great pass, Tehran, playing chivalry, knows he can beat the last defender. He's a very chivalrous man. He plays it off, knows, yes, this man will take the job. He'll carry me. He on his shield will go out for the Knights and send that ball home. How many puns can we fit in for both these teams? I'm not sure if we've got any more, I'll be honest with you.
Oh, I could definitely have a couple more for the Knights as they're going to be moving full tilt into the opposite side of the field. The Aviators starting to return. Tomez getting stopped out by Poolsharker, and now Tehran wins the joust. Ooh. Poolsharker moving downfield. He gets it around, but the ball is going to fall at rest on the backboard. Tomez, all of these demolitions from the Aviators. Cut infield, Poolsharker just there, diving in to save it. Poolsharker once again getting out in front of the ball, preventing the aggression, and now the Knights are mounting up in their full armor, diving in, a redirect. Oh my lord, the setup teed off.
There's a chant going on in chat right now. I want to just say that chant from Blizzard Chill, you know what I'm talking about. I want to hear that sang from the balconies for the rest of life. He scores when he wants. He scores when he wants. He's called Poolsharker. He scores when he wants, and he just scored again. It's 2-0. The Knights, they look untouchable at this point. They look like pure royalty, but they aren't the elite. And speaking of teams thinking that they're someone else, why do the Aviators think that just because they're green, they get to be the demolition for a day? They keep demoing these Knights players, and whilst it's a valid strategy half the time, they're not making it work. This time, however, a good pass from Manatee will tee up Tomez. They will find a goal to half the lead of the Knights, and it's exactly what they needed in this trying time.
Tomez in the right position. Poolsharker not able to pull that off of the wall. Gives the Aviators a very needed goal. Starting to close the gap, but their work is still cut out for them. Tehran with the low 50. Not able to come away with this one. Manatee just bulldozing right through. The ball's stuck on the wall, sets an infield pass. A beautiful cut. Tehran's still there. Blocks it over top once, but the dunk coming up from Manatee pummels that into the net.
Manatee has been the hammer to the Knights, I feel like, chisel. Whilst the Knights have been sort of breaking away and finding little cracks to create their perfect design of a dominant defense and offensive display, the Aviators have just been slamming the ball at them over and over again until it broke. And finally, the Knights defense has broken. Another good save from Paul Sharker. A little miss there in the midfield from Manatee, but it won't be punished immediately. Paul Sharker demoed in the Knights half. Now Tehran.
The patience
Somehow
from
does
Tehran.
everyone. What?
The patience.
The amount of composure from the Knights so far. They've been waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for the perfect time. Another fake comes out from Tehran. He'll get the 50!
What? Tehran just so incredibly patient. Okay, fakes once, fakes twice. Just using the Merc body that you can't get the ball around. So everyone's flying at him, expecting him to touch it, and he's just like, nope, I'm right here. I'm a brick wall.
Clip it. Send it to MLE Esports on Twitter or in the Discord with the hashtag Play of the Week, because that is deserving of ball score honor, if anything else. That was absolutely phenomenal from Tehran. Now, Paul Sharker will clear this ball deep into the Aviators half. Thomas, it feels like the wind has been taken out of his sails. He's got no height. Oh, somehow has kept that out. Oh, Johnson saves.
What a save! Manatee, the madman. 3 consecutive saves to allow the counterattack out of Tomez.
I'm dead. This is insane.
I am without words here. You're listening to the descent into madness of 2 grown adults watching some of the best Championship League action we could ask for. The ceiling shot coming in. He doesn't catch the ball, but allows the dunk. Manatee finishing this off. What a play.
Thank you, Kudos! Exclamation mark Play of the Week in the chat so you can see. That's technically a double tap from Manatee. I need a minute because this series has been non-stop for about the last 30 seconds. I have not caught my breath because I've been laughing and enjoying this too much, and I hope you're enjoying it at home as well, or wherever you are currently watching this live stream. As the ball now teed up, Tehran's going to have to bail out on it. Manatee will clear it away. Tomez also coming in there, but it's not really gone. Has a negative outcome for the Aviators for the moment. A passing play from Paul Sharker to Tehran will equalize the game. A great little goal there from them. This is exactly what we expected to see out of them.
Fallen, is this game 3 all over again? We're at that 4-4 scoreline once more. A minute left. Are we going to see the continual onslaught of goals, or will we see another overtime?
The greatest quote from chat so far has to be from Solace, just saying the whole save part was just the casters and us going, ooh, Manatee, how have you found that? A great read to bury it home. The Aviators lead again.
Tomez getting the angle to set up Manatee. Manatee reads it off the wall perfectly and has an amazing angle to set that one up. It's fundamentals. It's the kind of thing you practice over and over in free play and in training packs, and for this time it worked out for Manatee.
Tehran
charging in, bulldozing through, another goal for the Knights, and we stay tied.
Oh my lord. Tehran has just done it again. He's read him like a book and has scored again. What is going on? To quote the chat, what is this game? This is MLE. This is the Champion League. These are 2 teams that are currently not even in the playoffs. Think about the level of play you have to have. That you're not in the playoffs and you're doing this. Everything matters to these 2 teams. They are throwing the kitchen sink. They have thrown the playbook at each and every one of the players. You've got to believe that they've got coaches and the voice calls with them going, come on boys, you know what you need to do. Try something flashy. I don't know. How about you try like a double tap or a ceiling shot? You know what? Go for a long-ass air dribble that ends in a double touch. Go for something new. Mind game them. Just throw the whole everything at them, because right now, this is incredible. It's 5-5. Tomez though now with an opportunity, but Paul Sharko gets the lucky respawn, and the Knights will survive, maybe getting the last attack of the game now. As we head towards overtime, I feel like this game deserves an overtime, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, Manatee keeping it up, though, and the ball will touch down. Here we go. Overtime. The Knights have been stalwart, but the Aviators have been showing signs of life. Paul Sharker, oh no, the kickoff goal!
The flick is all that is needed. With all the flashy plays we've seen so far, I feel like it had to end on that, to be fair. It feels so anticlimactic, but it's exactly what they needed. He scores when he wants, does Paul Sharker, and he just sent the Knights to a 4-0 lead.
The Knights here have been so incredibly dominant. They have been chivalrous, they have been knighted, they have been the vanguard of their franchise here in Champion League. And they still have one more game to go. Are we going to see a full 5-game sweep?
I'd hope not, for the sake of the Aviators, because of how well they have performed. They have deserved to have taken at least 2 games out of this series. But honestly, with the way that Paul Sharker has just been, when he needs to, popping off and putting that ball in the back of the net, at this point I'm sort of expecting it. I'm expecting Paul Sharker to get the winning goal as well. But before tonight's show, we spoke a little bit about predictions going in. You said Aviators 3-2. I said Knights 4-1. Currently, one of us can still pull that off.
I'm a little bit off there.
A little bit. I mean, to be fair, the Aviators have deserved to have been a little closer in this series, and if they take Game 5, then fully deserved. They absolutely earned it with how they've performed, especially in the last 2 games. Like, there have been so many clip-worthy moments, and just very solid play as well. Stuff that doesn't get clipped very often. Just simple passing plays between the two that sort of went under the radar. It's been non-stop action, and as we get into Game 5, and my voice is already going, we still have another series to cast after this. How are we going to manage? An opportunity off the kickoff. Oh.
I think it's going to be a lot of adrenaline and maybe a little bit of refreshment from Balls Guarana.
Oh yes, absolutely. I have a drinkable Guarana just next to me. It's totally what it is, not a nondescript caffeinated beverage. Paul Sharker clears the ball away. He's going down the field on target. Manatee will tee it off his own post. I don't think he thought that was on target. And somehow, someway, the Aviators survived. Tomez now forced to hit the save. The Knights getting the early offense, but Manatee's clearance sends it long. Forces Turan to make the save with a fancy little aerial across his own net. Paul Sharker now looking for the pass to Turan. Turan can't find the touch that he needed. We're going to slow things down a little bit. Both teams needing a little bit of a moment just to compose themselves here after that incredible end to game number 4. Now, aerial opportunity. Manatee looking for the double. Can't find it. Tomez is there for the read. That's off the post and out as Turan clears it away. And now Turan with boost in pocket. Looking to center this ball for Paul Sharker. Will be bumped, but will still find it. And Tomez will be forced to clear it away off the near post. A minute gone, no goals, but a lot of action already.
Yeah, Tomez here really has the opportunity for the clutch factor, but Manatee going up, trying to take this opportunity. I will say, Fallen, I have had just this grin permanently slapped on my face since the end of last game, and I know you can't see it here. Paul Sharker getting the burn onto the defense of the Aviators and finally opening the gates on Game 5.
Paul Sharker once again finding the back of the net. He has been the talisman of this Knights team. He has been the blade that has cut open the Aviators defense time and time again. And right now, the little chant that's going on in chat, that little copy pasta, may be the best thing about this series on top of the gameplay, which is saying something.
Now, as I was saying, though, I have had this grin plastered on my face that I know that nobody can see, but this series feels incredibly joyful, both for the players and for the viewers. Everything about this is action-packed. We see the shot coming in from Manatee, getting immediately stopped by Turan, and Tomez clutching in once more, trying to keep the ball locked in, challenging out Paul Sharker, but Paul Sharker maintains possession in a miracle, even getting it around the last man back. What an attempt from Turan. Not quite going to find the back of the net just yet. Flick over one, blocked by Paul Sharker, and now Manatee's still trying to get past the Shark. Not anywhere near through this defense just yet. Paul Sharker once again just holding down the fort. The man has so many saves. Only 2, but it feels like a million more.
Yeah, and right now the Knights, they're playing like they did in Game 1. They're taking advantage of the counterattack. They're sitting back, letting the Aviators waste all their energy on offense. Poolsharker baits out Thomas, who has no boost to get back, and Turan able to bury that on an open net. Absolutely brilliant play from the Knights once again. This is exactly why the Knights have been so good in these matchups. And Poolsharker will find a third off the kickoff to immediately put the Aviators to the sword. What do you do if you're Manatee and Thomas?
I think you've really just... I don't think there's much that you can do at this point. You gotta pick yourself up off the ground, but you gotta plea for mercy from the Knights really at this point and try and find any opening that you can. Every time they challenge, Poolsharker stays behind the ball. That's just so indomitable for the Knights so far.
Now, an opportunity for the Knights. Turan will just let that one fall in the midfield. Thomas sends it up onto the backboard. Poolsharker does not find the touch! And Aviators will find a goal. They have 1:53 to find 2 more to see if they can even take this to overtime and take this game. Wow. It might be on, you know? This recovery might be on.
I think that was the perfect setup too, because even if Poolsharker had connected there, that ball wasn't going to go anywhere that was useful for the Knights. Could have been easily followed up by the Aviators, no problem, to set that in towards net anyways. So it was a great setup. One more off the backboard, looking for the rebound. Tomez out of boost, backflips into it, but Turan there to break up the play. Shot towards the net, off the near post. Will Tomez get the cut? Not yet. Digs it into the backboard, on towards net. Turan there to save it. Manatee with the pop, goes up to follow it. Gets it around one, not anywhere near the post, but he has the full boost. And the setup play, Poolsharker gets the clear, and this is the story of the Knights this series.
Yeah, just strong defensive stability. They've been looking just to beat out the Aviators in 50s whenever they get the opportunity to. Just beating them off of the ball anytime they get the chance to. Their positioning has been perfect, rotationally untouchable. And so far, the Aviators have had nothing, but Manatee has got everything. The ceiling shot of the century. That is a play of the week.
He takes flight finally, and Manatee coming out. He's been trying to hit this ceiling shot all series long, and that one was undefendable.
How do you keep that out? How do you keep out a ceiling shot like that? Is he going for another one?
He's looking for 2! Tries to read it, but Poolsharker there to deflect it away. The midfield is open, shot on, but Manatee rotates in time to save it. Not catching the ball this time, but Tomez rock solid in the backfield. Looks for one more touch, centers the ball, but now the overcommittal may be punished. The Knights already rotating in towards center, and the punish not there, bouncing off the bar. Tomez with the pop, trying to loft it in towards net. Saved by the Knights once more.
I think Turan just bumped Tomez into that, you know? Because Tomez was looking for the bump play. Oh, and that's brilliant. Turan just played aggressive as anything there. Watch how he tries and throws off Tomez from going up any earlier because he knew he would get bumped if he did. Poolsharker gifted another goal, and it's 4-2. 11 seconds remaining. The game may be dead and buried.
This is the full sweep for the Knights. The exact opposite of what I was expecting, but I am pleasantly surprised here as the Knights will take this 5-0 in the series. Phenomenal job by them, and a phenomenal play from the Aviators as well.
It's really, there have been very few performances that have looked as good as the ones that both of these teams have put on. A good series doesn't just come from 1 or 2 players having an amazing series. It comes from everyone being at the top of their game and putting on genuinely one of the best series I've ever had the pleasure of casting, especially Game 3 and Game 4. The amount of tension, the amount of quality plays, possibly the greatest series of today. And to think, we still have more to come in terms of series. We've got a Foundation League series coming up on this stream here. I believe it is the... never mind, I've lost it.
I've got it here. We have the Pirates versus the Comets.
And then over on the mainstream, we do have, I believe, the Foxes versus, I'm going to pull this up because I have it, the Hurricanes. The Foxes versus the Hurricanes for the Premier League over on the mainstream. If you want to go check either of these out, we really appreciate all the love and support. Right now, though, we do have a short intermission, but afterwards, we will be coming back for some Foundation League gameplay. Please don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss this.